Pacific Northwest angler. Whether you are looking for a small skiff to fish the sound or rivers or a huge offshore tuna machine, Defiance Marine has it. At Defiance Marine, be sure to power your boat with a Honda outboard package. Take advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty on your Honda outboards. Our service department is always here to help and serve you as the customer. Did you know Defiance Marine has boat financing experts to help get you the best term rates on your new boat purchase? If you need financing for that new boat, call us today. We guarantee the best price, best service on a repower for your current boat. Defiance Marine is a Honda Premier dealership and one of the largest on the West Coast. Defiance Marine also carries all the gear that you will need. Everything from auxiliary kicker motors to fishing tackle and bait. Defiance Marine has certified technicians that are top-notch at their job. Some of the best in the Pacific Northwest at evaluating your boat issues and problems. Stop in today or give us a call for all your needs at Defiance Marine.
Today, the need for quality private security services is at an all-time high. Contract Security Service provides day-to-day peace of mind as they protect people and property. Here at Phoenix, we provide service for multiple state and federal contracts with services ranging from uniform, patrol, alarm monitoring, canine detection, executive protection, as well as investigative work. Phoenix client management models are built on understanding our clients' security needs and responding with a tailored program that is best fit for them. Phoenix provides excellent customer service through well-trained, highly motivated security professionals. Recruiting highly qualified officers is the first step in building a strong team. Currently, we are comprised of 70% prior law enforcement and military veterans. If you are prior military or law enforcement, go to www.phoenixprotectivecorps.com and apply today.
Here we go.
In the Northwest Wild.
I've got a ballistic solution app on my
Tuna grounds are on the ocean, Tommy.
We're gonna do that. Don't go anywhere.
We've got all the great fish that make great fish and chips.
Things that I've got. I'm digging in moss bags up in the sand. And after work, a cold beer in my hand. Picking wild bears.
Hey, good evening and welcome to Fish on Northwest. Winning on Tommy Donlin to my immediate right. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. How'd you like that drive down in the little monsoon we got going on?
My God.
That is some
You
rain.
can barely see the road.
Oh,
yeah.
It's dark till
horrible.
like 2 o'clock this afternoon. It was dark.
Right.
Going.
Yep. Welcome to November.
Welcome to November. We have a bit of rain here and on the way. Rivers are going to head directly straight up. Matter of fact, Jordan, if you got it, just throw that graph up right now. We'll just make a mention on it now. This is going to get serious before it gets any time better soon, or before it gets flipped around the other way. The rivers up north, potentially the Snohomish hitting 80,000 CFS.
Yeah.
Here by the weekend, so all plans of fishing this weekend are on hold, even on our dammed rivers. Quite a bit of rain coming, so as in typical fashion, when we get these Novembers that are extremely wet, this is one of them, and it's going to put a pile of water in these rivers, and nobody's going to be fishing anytime soon. When you look at that graph currently, Tommy, in a lot of those rivers around northern Puget Sound and down here out in the coastal region are in the red and the purple. we are at extreme flooding for sure. So if you're in one of those areas, in one of those floodplains, hopefully you can weather through the storm here, and we won't have a lot of folks getting their homes underwater and whatnot. But this looks pretty ugly going into it for sure. So, all right, moving along. Hey, we got a lot of content to cover this evening. My friend, as we do each and every week, I want to remind everybody Fish Hunt Northwest is presented by Better Homes and Gardens Pacific Commons Real Estate located in Puyallup, Washington. Joe Maxwell and team doing the best they can to keep up with this crazy market. Give them a call if you have some real estate needs. Our buddies out there at Defiance Marine dropped the Allied off out there yesterday. Talked to a bunch of the guys out there, hung out for a while.
Yeah, how are they doing?
Everybody's doing fine, man. They're busy out there. I got a few things I'm getting done on the boat, but they got boat show and sportsman show on the brain, and they're trying to...
The hustle never ends.
Oh my gosh, and they're trying to keep up with demand. They got some large boats getting out of the Allied shop once again, trying to meet deadlines. And anyway, if you're looking for anything relative to boats, and of course they are the manufacturers, the Allied, the Arima, and the Defiance series, and do a fantastic job. They take care of Tommy and I and our boats, so give them folks a call if you're looking for boats. Don't go anywhere else before you talk to them. They're going to take care of you. And of course, our good buddies, JC and crew over there at Phoenix Protective Corp, phoenixprotectivecorp.com. If you are a former military retiree or also prior police in these volatile times, have some police experience, they are looking for you, always looking to put good quality folks, Tommy, to work in a great company to work for. Speaking of which, former military service and or veterans, for crying out loud, it is Veterans Day. So happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there. Due to folks like this, Tommy, who have sacrificed parts of their lives in the service they have taken on, and not, a non-selfish act in my mind to put in that time for, it doesn't matter how many years. Maybe you got in 4 years and got out, doesn't matter. You gave your time, you gave your personal time to the betterment of this country, and for guys like you and I, that they get to enjoy the freedoms day in and day out.
Yeah, very special.
Yeah, we give you lots of thanks and praise for that. We got family members that have served, and very, very proud of them. Moving on. So, as we get through tonight, boy, lots of info and not enough time to get to most of it. Hey, also we got to remind folks, Tommy, that Fisherman's Brew, these bags of coffee sitting here on the desk, we have both been drinking some of this, and let me tell you, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait to dig into that French roast. I haven't had a chance to get some of that.
So you have your options. Get on their webpage, fishermansbrew.com, and try out the King Salmon blend, which is your medium blend, or the Steelhead blend, which is the French roast. And do yourself a favor, pick up some Fisherman's Brew, brew yourself a pot of coffee, and while you're enjoying that, realize that 5% of the monies you spend go directly into salmon recovery, salmon conservation here in the Northwest, which is a great, great thing for them boys to jump on. So Fisherman's Brew, check them out, fishermansbrew.com. Had a thermos of Fisherman's Brew with me last Friday morning, by the way.
Did you? What were you doing?
Well, as I had mentioned, we had Shelby Ross, Ross Outdoor Adventures, on the phone last week.
That's right.
Got done with the show, got the podcast loaded up, ready to go, and I was out of here on the road by about 9 p.m. or so. Picked up our buddy JJ Dial down there in Puyallup, and we met up there and hit the road. I think we pulled into Shelby's driveway about 12:45.
Early.
Yeah, right?
Early the next day.
Early the next day. Got the bags into the house, threw them on the floor, threw the gear in, hit the rack at about 1 a.m., and we got up at 5 a.m. to meet Shelby and a few other gents at the boat at 6 a.m. out to the duck blind long before shooting light. Enjoyed some Fisherman's Brew in the blind and awaited first light. And let me tell you, it was on. And JJ and I had a fantastic hunt. Other guests were in other blinds, and we got to spend the morning to afternoon with our buddy Shelby. And we got it done. Shelby put us on the ducks.
Yeah. I got to spend a little bit of that fraction of that time with you on your live feed, and then I think I was commenting too much, and you shut it down.
Shut it down.
And you shut it down, it was over.
What's funny is people were like, why'd you shut it down? I go, well, because just as would be per scripted, as soon as you go live.
Yeah, and then you shot a bunch of ducks.
The ducks quit flying, and also we got about a 20-minute lull in the action, and I'm thinking, well, this is dumb. People are tuning in. We got a bunch of people tuning in. They're going, hey, guys, this is great, and the picture looked pretty good.
I loved it. No, it was great.
Had a good angle on it. It took a little bit to get it set up, but we're able to have good connectivity over there. So the next couple trips over there, we will definitely try to go live stream. People enjoy that when you're at work, and I was kind of making fun of it the night before. Hey, when you're in your cubicle the next day, we're gonna be out there blasting ducks in the face, so go ahead and tune on in. But we had a good time. We got our limits of ducks, and it was a quick turnaround. I mean, I think it was all total like 22 hours. Leave, get over there, get up, hunt ducks, help Shelby pick up decoys and stuff in the afternoon. With his workload, we lended him a hand, and then got on the road and got home, and it was about a 22 full-on hour turnaround trip.
That's a turn and burn. It's
a turn and burn, and it was well worth it, and we enjoyed that duck this evening.
Yeah, we did. That was really good.
And how was that?
Thank you very much, Shing, by the way. Now, we get an opportunity to do this again, this time with me, right?
Well, I hope you're coming, because we're scheduling this for you, Tommy Donlin, right?
Just for me. Okay,
to make it on over. We'll throw that slide up there again. Hey, this is a full-on open invite to all of you tuning in, and it's on our Facebook page as well, so you can check out the details. December 22nd, we are hunting with Shelby Ross and Ross Outdoors. This will be on a Wednesday. Get a little parched there, having me some Fisherman's Brew. This will be on a Wednesday, and we opted to schedule this on a Wednesday the week before Christmas. One, we feel like there'll be plenty of folks who will hopefully have the time off. Two, Tommy, by choosing a Wednesday, if we get a change in the weather and the weather gets extremely cold and it pushes a bunch of ducks out of there, we still have a great opportunity for geese. So we could go into a field and do a goose hunt versus a duck hunt. So we'll kind of just play it by ear. We'll be in touch with Shelby as we set this thing up, but we have plenty of space available. You are looking at getting over there on Thursday, late afternoon, early evening. Dinner is included. Lodging in a cottage is included. Get up the next day, get out on a guided duck or goose hunt. Lunch is provided. All that for $350.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah, that is awesome.
And you don't have to do the turn and burn. You can leave plenty early, get over there, be relaxed, have dinner, have a few drinks, enjoy the evening, meet folks who are doing the same exact hobbies you enjoy. We'll sit around and get to know a few folks, and then we'll get out either in the field or in the duck blind the next morning and just have a fantastic shoot. It's gonna be a great time. So
I've never done it, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
I've never done it.
Yeah, look at you, huh? So
I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
We're gonna get you with that Mossberg strapped to your shoulder and see how many you can blast out of the sky. So
all right. I suppose I'll leave this Sayeg at home.
Yeah, so looking forward to it. December 22nd, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but it is on our Facebook page. If you have questions, need clarification on anything, just hit us up on Facebook Messenger. We'll get the info for you, but pretty straightforward, December 22nd. Lodging, dinner, lunch, day of shooting, guided hunt with Shelby Ross and Ross Outdoors, and a really good time with us here at Fish Hunt Northwest. $350. You can't beat it. That's a smoking deal. So things to look forward to. So talked about river levels. Running down the show. We have a great show lined up this evening, as we do each and every week. Tommy, starting off with Bill Herzog, the general himself, is jumping back on the phone with us. Steelhead fishing. A little bit concerning what our opportunity may end up being or not here on the west side, but if you hadn't heard or didn't know, the steelhead fishing on the east side is absolutely fantastic, even with the Columbia River being at such a low return this year. Some of these tributaries are performing quite well. We're going to get Bill on the phone, talk about that steelhead fishing on the east side and why you should be over there. Tommy, we're going to also jump in later with you in the show, part 2, the recap of your Idaho elk hunt. Dialing in ballistics, if you're still having trouble getting dialed in, Tommy will get you straightened out. That is the deal. Ballistics with Tommy Donlin, don't miss. You like that? Yeah,
Love
that's it. That's a good one.
So true.
And then, hey, buddy of ours, longtime friend, Mark Yuasa. If you fish anywhere in Puget Sound, here in the Northwest, or pick up an article and read it in a handful of different publications, right? Northwest Sportsman's Magazine, for example, The Real News. Mark Yuasa's, the Yuasa name is synonymous with Puget Sound and Puget Sound fisheries. Hey, we got a Blackmouth opening going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is opportunity in Area 11 for Blackmouth. And actually, as to his true self, Mark went out this morning and was able to pull one out.
Did he?
In this weather. Right,
Oh
he's
my
out there
gosh,
on the water
getting
in this
soaked.
weather. We'll talk to him about that. But Mark,
Squidding too. We're going to talk squidding.
we're going to talk squid jigging, of course,
Clamming.
and clamming's coming up. We got
That's right.
another 9-day run, I think, coming up here.
Yeah.
So
That'll be a
yeah,
good segment.
Mark has got some great information. If you're looking for things to do, he has no shortage on information. We're going to talk Puget Sound Blackmouth, squidding, as Tommy alluded to, and of course clam digging. All that coming up here later on the show with Mark Yuasa. Right now we're going to jump out with a quick break. When we come back, the general himself, Bill Herzog, if he's not asleep, This has happened before. Bill Herzog is going to join us right here at Fish Hunt Northwest.
An Outdoor Emporium is the largest local outfitter in the Northwest since 1975, providing thousands of people affordable outdoor gear. This summer, make your next outdoor adventure more affordable by shopping at our warehouse-style pricing. We are a local Scotty dealer, offering sales, service, and repair. Located in Fife and Seattle, come visit us today. The outdoors await you.
It's easier than ever to browse homes and connect with an agent on the go with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate's mobile app. With the app, your home search is synced across all of your devices, so you can pick up your home search anytime, anywhere. Take full advantage of an enriched, mobile-optimized map search experience. Use location services to quickly find homes near you that match your search criteria. Draw your own map boundaries to find homes in a specific area, and apply layers to view school districts, neighborhoods, zip codes, and more. The app's user-friendly design makes it easier than ever to find a home you'll love. Narrow down your search results, save your search criteria, and save your favorite homes. You can browse your saved homes in a list view that puts photos and key details like price and square footage right at your fingertips. Or check out your saved homes displayed on the map.
Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, big fish. Yeah, buddy. Nice fish. Oh, beauty. Gorgeous fish.
Bobby's on the board.
We got a good one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 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 geez, come on.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
Hey, welcome back, Fish Hunt Northwest. Dwayne England, Tommy Donlin here in studio. It is Thursday night at 6 p.m. and we are coming to you live from the studio as we do each and every week. And first on the docket this evening, Tommy, good buddy of ours, been in studio a number of times, and always a pleasure to hang out with and fish with you. You got introduced to him over there on them triploids.
Yep.
And had a fantastic time. None other than the general himself, Bill Herzog. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, kids. You staying dry?
Yeah, well, only because we're indoors, you know. And I think a friend of ours, Eric Williamson, put on here, he has gauged 2.5 inches of rain just today here out in the coastal area. So it is coming down. It is coming down.
And I would imagine with that rain comes a good time to tie leaders and cure eggs.
Yeah, and just get ready for, you know, opportunity when the water does drop. We're still got plenty of time in November here on the west side chasing coho and chum. If you're not familiar with what a chum looks like, Bill, I just say watch the news for the next couple days, and when they show them swimming across 101, you'll get a good idea of what they look like, right? So
and they already did that once this year already, so you're behind the curve.
I gotcha.
You know, that's a good segue, kiddies. If you want to get away from the wet and you want to catch some nice steelhead and have a really good time and some beautiful scenery, may I suggest the Snake River and the Grand Run over there by Heller Bar.
Right.
It comes highly recommended from this fella. I'm telling you, if you want to stay dry, it's a good time to go over there before it gets too cold.
Well, speaking of which, you put a little time in over there as of late on both the rivers you're speaking of. Floating one with the 12-foot Willie, and of course the little bank fishing, and it looked pretty darn productive on a year, as I mentioned at the start of the show, on a year where the Columbia River fisheries seem to be on a major downward turn as far as the numbers of steelhead coming over Bonneville. By August 29th, Bill, we were at the lowest steelhead numbers going over Bonneville that had ever been recorded since they started recording fish, okay? And yet here you are.
Back in 1938.
Yes, and so here you are as we roll into this time of year in that fall fishery over there. Snake River and Grand Ronde seems to be plenty of steelhead hanging around.
Well, plenty is relevant, guys. If you think about, but back in 2019, the same thing kind of happened. We had almost the same amount of fish come back, and we had 7,000 more than this year come back in 2019. And what happened back then is the entire Columbia and the lower Snake below the dams were all closed. So those fish got a free ride up to the Snake and the Grand Ronde. The only time they started getting pressure is right off the mouth of the Clearwater. And the Clearwater fish, by the way, are not doing too bad either because of it. And like in 2019, they got this free ride. There may only be 37,000 of them, which sounds like a lot, but you spread that out over the Clearwater and the Snake and the Imnaha and the Grand Ronde, it's really not that many fish. But if no one's catching, and the limit's only one. So if you only catch one fish a day and then you're done, you're not going to be hammering on them. They get a free ride upstream, and there might not be as many, but the ones that are there all make it. And there's actually pretty good numbers of fish. So steelheading being steelheading, you know, we're all used to our 1 or 2 fish a day, calling it good. That's about what you can expect over there. And if you really are lucky and you know where they live, you can have half a dozen to even up to 10 fish a day if you have a really good day and you find some fish.
So, Bill, while you are speaking, we've got your pictures up on the screen, and there is just some amazing, awe-inspiring pictures of the river. So I think I know why you love this fishery so much.
Yeah.
But, for those that are new to it, can you kind of talk a little bit about, what are the tactics? Like, how are you catching these fish?
Any way you want. That's the best part. Even if you want to go out, if you bring a jet boat and you want to get out in the big river in the Snake, you can side drift. You can side drift eggs if you want, or shrimp. You can fish bait over there, but you have to use a barbless hook. That is the key. You can have a treble hook, but it has to be barbless. You got up to 3 hooks barbless. The same thing in the Ronde. So when you get into the Grand Ronde, it's all a single barbless, artificial, no bait. But in the Snake, when you want to spray scent on your plugs, have at it. You can do that, But we caught them plug-in, which was amazing, man. The plug runs up there, you guys. Wow! Even with my little boat, you can plug for a half a mile. You just put them out there, you just go, and you're like, you know how we work our smaller streams over here.
Yeah, short runs,
You about know when you're going to get bit. Over there, you just go, you don't know when you're going to get bit, which is really kind of cool. You can get strikes at any time, and we did. That was the cool, but we caught them on spoons in the Grand Ronde. We caught them on swinging flies in the Snake. I caught swinging flies in the Grand Ronde. We caught them on jigs. Anything that you really want to do, whatever you're more familiar with and have the most confidence in, will work there. And here's the key.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, over the years, I when I first went there 20 plus years ago, I thought I saw these guys fishing with black and purple and whatnot, and nobody's using pink. And I thought, look what I got. So I started using pink. I never caught anything. So I used black, pink, red. Black, purple, red. Never used pink until this year. I started to use pink, and guess what the hot color was for flies and plugs this year, Dwayne?
Probably pink. And when that quit working, you took it off and you put pink back on, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
and here's something else I did. When do we use UV?
All the time, my friend. We all know.
I sprayed my plugs and spoons, even my flies to a degree, with UV blast and put that UV on them. I'm telling you, it helps. When you're fishing, that water is a little dingy this year. It's different. It's got a little more color than usual, and I'm telling you, that little bit of UV brings that light down where there is none. I know it helped us get strikes over there. I know it did. But for plugging, if you use like a 3.5 mag lip, or I use good old hot shots because I love them, and I just feel like going back in time. Like, when you step in my boat, it's 1983, man. I got the old Bantams, I got the glass rods, everything but a mullet. Only thing you don't get.
Oh, you got to bring it back.
You can work that. You got plenty of hair left. Hey, so you're over there, big water on that Snake, pretty good sizable river, and trying to narrow it down. Talk a little bit about if a person's going to jump into the drift boat and decide to pull plug, sounds like you're basically strapping yourself into the rowing machine, because if you're doing a half-mile stretch and just keep going, one, you got to keep the guy in the front of the boat awake because it's easy to put him to sleep, right? Two, I got a big wide river. How do I, real quickly, how do I narrow that down and figure out where I'm going to run them plugs and pin down where those fish are going to want to hang?
Well, if you ever fish the Skagit or even the Sky Comas, those are pretty big waters up there.
Yeah.
You fish the edges. You knock off 90% of that river. You don't even fish. It's too big, too powerful, too deep. The fish are always going to be on the edges. You want to find that 5 to 10 foot deep edge and just concentrate on that. And the water's getting a little colder. The fish are liking slower water, so find the slower edges, and you're in them. It's as simple as that. If you can eliminate 95% of the river, it makes it a heck of a lot easier.
Well, with our steelhead fisheries on the brink of disaster and or probable shutdown, it's nice to know if persons are willing to get in the truck and drive, drag the boat over there, or even come over and do some bank fishing, tossing spoons or swinging flies, what have you. There's a lot, even running jigs close to shore. I mean, you just opened it up there, Bill. You got all kinds of options and opportunity there. People should take advantage of this before it's all said and done, and maybe not have any steelhead opportunity for the rest of the year.
Well, the fish are beautiful, and you're allowed to keep one night fish, you know, and they eat wonderfully. They're genetically fantastic. The meat in there is full of fat, and they're orange. They're really good to eat, and they fight like hell. And the weather's pretty good. So, you know, that's a trifecta in my book there, kids.
Yeah, you got that right.
Well, you know exactly where to fish too, because all you got to do is find the little bright green boat on the river, and you just follow that guy.
Hiding the bright green boat. That is true. Yes, for sure.
We're out there on the Snake, and we're having a really good morning, like last Tuesday. And a jet boat, one of the few, there's not many people fishing because of the regulations. You know, nobody wants to go all the way over there and catch one fish and be done. They don't want to do that. You know, they want to catch and catch and catch. If you kill your fish, you're done for the day. Yeah. So we released pretty much everything, and we kind of restricted ourselves to like 4 fish a day. That's enough. I mean, that's a great day for steelhead. You guys went eating 8 fish a day. Holy cow! Sign me up. Right? I'm in, no matter what. But I had them come over, and the guys were going, "Is that a 12-foot willy boat?" Yep.
Out here on the Snake.
The guy goes, "Have you been here before?" I said, "I've been fishing here for 20-some years, pal." I go, "What's up?" He goes, "How many fish have you guys hooked over here on them plugs?"
Crazy.
I've had a blast. You know, I would highly recommend dragging your boat over. There's several floats you can make.
Right.
They're all 3-4 miles long and lots of water. You can get out of the boat. And anything you really want to do, I would recommend. If you like to fish jigs, get some red and black or purple jigs, 1/8-ounce jigs, and go up in the lower rond and fish them in there. And I promise you stick with it, you will get bit, and you'll catch some beautiful steelhead.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, always a pleasure, my friend, to get you on and pick the brain of Mr. Herzog himself. And don't be a stranger. We're going to be picking up that phone, dragging the boat to the east side. We got a couple days over there on Rufus we need to go tackle.
That's right.
Yeah, but that would do. And one quick reminder for my trout fishermen over there. The Yakima River is low and in the most beautiful shape of the year, and hardly anybody's fishing it. You guys get your Jones on. You come on over here and go catch some big trout. Get your rooster tails.
Perfect.
And come on over. You'll have a great time.
Right on, buddy. Okay, appreciate it. Great info as always. Don't be a stranger, bud. We'll be in touch.
I certainly won't. I'll see you soon, boys.
All right, buddy. Take care. We'll see you.
See ya.
The General, Bill Herzog himself, everybody tuning in is well familiar with that man, Tommy.
I know. For good reason.
Yeah, and just a heck of a lot of fun to spend a day with, isn't he?
He is. He's a hoot.
All right, we'll jump out for a quick break. We come back. Get your pencil and notepad out. Tommy Donlin, you're front and center, my friend. Gonna dissect and delve into a little discussion on ballistics. If you're still struggling on trying to figure out what ammo you should be running with your gun, and if it's not all working out for you, this engineer brain over here to my right is going to get you squared away. Don't go anywhere. A couple-minute break. We'll be back right here in studio, Fish on Northwest.
A Northwest favorite for almost 40 years, Arima boats are manufactured with pride right here in Bremerton, Washington. Arima Boats offers all of our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. With literally thousands of Arima boats on the water throughout the Pacific Northwest, Arima boats are a proven hull design that offers incredible fuel economy and all of the amenities that a serious angler is looking for. All Arima boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why we back our boats with a lifetime warranty. All of our Arima boats are designed to maximize deck space while also providing ample seating. Contact us today at Arima Boats for all your boating needs and let us help you get out on the water.
End of Watch Ride to Remember is a group from the state of Washington traveling across the country to honor fallen officers from 2019. End of Watch organizer Jagrut Shah says they want to show departments who've lost partners and friends they are not alone.
I wanted to bridge this gap that we have and bring back to the department, let the deputies or the officers know that their lost has not been forgotten.
In 2019, 146 officers were killed in the line of duty, and End of Watch Ride to Remember is on a mission to pay their respects to each of them.
For us, it's just important realizing that the men and women in blue everywhere should remember that they haven't been forgotten. We're not forgetting them. We want the families to know that their loved ones have not been forgotten.
Yes, Tommy, true story indeed.
Yes, that was a good one.
Yeah, I know. Welcome back to Fish on Northwest, winning on Tommy Donlin. All right, focusing here on Mr. Donlin himself. Last week, you entertained us with some fantastic information. I'm kind of recapping your Idaho elk hunt, and we had said it was going to be a two-part series because we really wanted to try to get into the ballistics on something like the elk hunt that you experienced, because you were talking about how you got two different rifles, two different ammo loads, shooting from basically same distance and location at animals that were close proximity, which kind of led us into having a discussion about ballistics. And you know what? Let's save that for next week and kind of break it down. So entertain us, my friend. What do you got?
So we'll jump in. The first thing I want to say, Chris Ward, Dave Anderson and I do not look alike. I've got at least 50 pounds on Dave.
Yeah, well, other
but we
than
both are bald, so I will give you that.
This is true. Yeah.
Okay, now to ballistics.
Now to ballistics.
So the common problem is guys will go out, you'll buy a rifle, right? Yeah. And you'll set it all up. You get your scope, everything's set. And you go, okay. And again, this discussion is not about reloading. I recognize that 95% of the hunting population is not going to get into that whole game. Yep. Which we could go on about forever. Sure. But they're not going to do it, right? So they go to the store, and hopefully in these kind of times they're able to find their ammo, right? So
yeah, good point. Yep.
They buy maybe 2 boxes of ammo, and what I would recommend if you're starting out, get 2 different brands, right? 2 different brands, 2 different bullets, and then shoot those through your rifle and see how those shoot. Okay. If you got a brand new rifle, there's a whole break-in procedure. Make sure you do that break-in procedure first, right? Before you start trying to dial in your rifle. Your rifle's going to change over those first 50 rounds. Now, something that you want to consider when you pick the ammo is that you have to look on your barrel. Your barrel is going to give you a twist rate, right? And depending on the manufacturer and the caliber, it's going to be very specific, okay? Now, the other thing is, when you look at that twist rate and you're trying to pick a bullet, you have to pick a bullet that barrel can stabilize, okay? Gyroscopic stability. Right. So if you can't stabilize the bullet, it's not going to be accurate. So you don't want to just go to the store and say, oh, I'm going to pick the heaviest bullet that I can possibly find on the shelf, right? Because the more mass, the better for knockdown power, right? I hear that a lot.
Yeah, so if I'm looking at a 130 grain, a 150 grain, I got a Winchester and a Remington, I'm like, of course the 150 is going to be better. Well, not necessarily, right?
And so here's what I'd recommend. Berger has a ballistic calculator on their website that you can use to determine if a given bullet is stable or not stable. Okay.
With your gun?
With the barrel. Right? It's really about the barrel for this, right? Now, the other thing is you have to pick a bullet that matches the game that you're going to hunt.
Right.
Okay. So you don't want to pick a lot of these companies that produce ammo, they produce target rounds, right? So when you're going to hunt, you don't want to pick a target round. And if we could throw up, Jordan, if we could throw up those pictures of those two spent rounds, I'll say, you know, it comes down to kind of that performance on animal. Okay. Now I've got quite a bit of experience running different bullets, and kind of where I've settled and where I'm going to stay for quite a while is the Nosler AccuBond. And it's a bonded bullet, lead and copper. They have a special bonding process that makes sure that the jacket does not separate from that core. Okay. So you're going to see my bullet on the left there that I shot my elk with. I shoot a 338 Win Mag in this case, and that's a 225 grain Nosler AccuBond. Every AccuBond that I've shot, regardless of caliber, always looks like that. Okay. And the only thing that changes is how much mushroom there is depending on the range.
Yeah.
But I've shot game out to 607 yards and as close as 12 yards with that Nosler AccuBond in everything from a 270 all the way up to that 338 Win Mag. So that's my bullet. That's my bullet of choice. The other reason that I absolutely love that bullet, and I would recommend anybody that's looking for ammo for the first time to find produced ammo with the Nosler AccuBond, is because a wide variety of rifles shoot that bullet extremely well. Extremely well.
Gotcha.
Now, on the other side of that screen, you also saw the Berger, or as some people like to say, the Burger, the VLD, right?
The Burger.
And VLD stands for very low drag.
Right.
That one also harvested an elk on our trip, and that's coming out of a 7mm mag, and that's 168 grain. You can see that the design of that round is completely different, right? It is not meant to stay intact, stay bonded. It is meant to come apart. And now, for me, and this is just my opinion, take it for what it's worth, I'm not going to shoot that bullet because I don't like picking shrapnel out of
your
meat,
animal,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't make a perfect shot, you're going to take out a lot more meat than maybe you need to. I like my bullets to stay intact, to expand.
Was that
and
Herb's
to penetrate. Bullet? That was Herb's bullet. Yeah. Actually, that was the remains of two bullets.
Okay.
that came out of that animal.
Yeah.
And really, it's about your rifle, right? So you want to find ammo that your rifle shoots well. You can't just pick any old box off the shelf and say, yeah, this is it. This is the box of ammo I'm going to buy because my buddy told me it's good ammo. Your buddy doesn't know unless he or she has the same exact rifle that you have, they're not going to know that ammo shoots well in your rifle.
Sure. It's a good point.
Okay.
They may be really happy with the results they're getting.
Right.
And that's why that would lead to that conversation to say, hey, no, man, you got to try these. These have never failed me.
Right.
I've been hunting for 15 years. Right. This is what I use. I shoot my 270. You know, it's done wonders.
Right.
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
That works for you.
Okay, now I want to jump to kind of the rifle condition, right? Because the whole thing is a system. If you try different types of ammo and your rifle's just not shooting, it could be something else. It could be the fact that your barrel is like horribly fouled. You got too much copper in it. It could be the fact that your action screws are loose. They're not torqued to spec. It could be your rail. It could be your scope rings. So if you try a variety of ammo and it's not working out for you, keep those other things in mind because it could be that. Now, I want to jump to DOPE, okay, which is data on previous engagement, right? So basically just means that once you shoot and you see where that bullet hits on paper at different ranges, you know what drop to expect. Now, today we've got Ballistic Apps, and I think Jordan's got a couple snapshots of those apps that we're going to throw up here. And it's a little bit of an eye chart, but what you're looking at here, this is the app called Bullet Flight M. And on the left, you're looking at a dope sheet, okay? And I know it's hard to see, but basically you're looking at range all the way out to 750 yards. It tells you the drop, and it tells you your minute of angle adjustment for those ranges, okay? And in this case, I'm shooting MOA scopes. There's also mil-dot scopes, which is a different variant.
Yeah.
On the right-hand side of the screen, you're looking at the ballistic data for the range that I shot my elk at. So for 541 yards, and if you look really close at the bottom, it's going to tell you it's about 1,780 feet per second and just over 1,500 foot-pounds of energy.
Okay.
You're going to hear the energy discussion a lot. A lot of hunters will use that number in terms of what they believe an ethical, foot-pound of energy is in order to harvest an animal ethically. Some people say 1,200 foot-pounds, some say 1,000 foot-pounds, some say, hey, take your 6.5 Creedmoor out there, and as long as your shot placement's good, you're good. I don't subscribe to that. I'm a Magnum guy, especially for animals like elk.
Right.
But something you want to keep in mind. Now, you can buy this app. I think it's online for around $15, $20. And the point here is that if you want to be a good shooter, you have to know what your bullet is doing, not just at 100 yards, but you have to know what it's doing at 200, 300, and so on. And that's going to change dependent on your muzzle velocity. Unfortunately, you can't just take the box and say, oh, the muzzle velocity on this box of ammo says it's this, right? You have to be able to measure muzzle velocity, give it some other information like your sight height. How far is your scope off of your barrel, and really understand that barrel twist and the ballistic coefficient of that bullet. Input those variables into the app, and that's going to give you your shooting solution, which is going to be way more accurate than the data that just comes with the box of ammo.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. You took some time last year after we put that new Vortex Viper on my gun, and we took all those measurements and exact measurements into play on this and dumped it all into the app, and it kicked out numbers that then I went out to the range, made adjustments, dialed in that scope, shimmed it on my settings where they should be, and it's a game changer. I mean, it really is a game changer. You're no longer just simply dialing in, at 100 yards and dialing in at 1 inch above 100 yards, and then knowing that you'll be in the crosshairs at 200, and if you're going to be beyond that, you just need to elevate above the animal so many inches. I mean, you can still do that, and there's a lot of successful hunters that do, but with today's technology and the ability to dial in your scope so precise and really take that into consideration on your elevation points and drops, and of course windage and all of that, much like a sniper. Take your time, because let's face it, when you're 600 yards away, you may have a few minutes.
You have as much time as you want. You can stand up and do jumping jacks.
Yeah, you're going to have a few minutes. You're not. It's not just a quick. Hey, I'm 60 yards from this animal and I need to figure it out. So
and again, I want to be clear with people. I'm not telling anybody to go out there and shoot past their comfort range.
Absolutely.
And I want to be clear. It takes practice to be able to shoot. I would say just to shoot in general. I mean, I know guys that have missed shots at 100 yards, right?
Sure, yeah.
So that's definitely something that I built up over the years, and I'm confident in shooting, and I hold myself to a certain level, and I don't shoot past that, right? Everybody has their mark as to where that's at.
Yep. Much like archery, same thing. It takes practice and comfort and having confidence in your ability and that shot placement. This is not to be just taken for granted. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes on out of season to prepare for that one or 2 week window. And this is what you're talking about, putting in the work. Spend some time online reading, truly get to know your gun, get to know your ammo, get to know what your parameters are, how to set it up. And then if you're still confused, contact Tommy Donlin via social media, and he'll cloud your brain with so many numbers.
You'll probably
regret
that you asked.
Anyway, good stuff, buddy. Appreciate you walking us through that. If you guys got more questions relative to ballistics and things that you're trying to figure out, make sure you hit us up here at Fish Out Northwest via our Facebook page, or message Tommy on his own personal page. It all works, and we definitely put in a lot of effort to get back to you anytime you're putting questions out there. So, all right, going to jump out for a quick break. When we come back, going to have Mark Yuasa on the phone, man, the Puget Sound jigging machine. And pay attention. This guy is going to get you squared away. We got that Blackmouth fishery going on. Mark's going to tell you the hows, the wheres, the whys, and help you get it done. Mark Yuasa, we come back right here, Fish Out Northwest.
Allied boats are built by West Coast fishermen for West Coast fishermen. Deep V 21-degree dead rise at the transom guarantees a smooth ride no matter the conditions. Allied offers all of our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Allied boats range from 19 to 32 foot in length, so no matter what type of heavy gauge boat you are looking for, we have it for you. All of our Corsair 21 foot and larger designs come standard with reverse chine that is welded inside and out with no extrusions below the waterline, so that you will never have to worry about corrosion problems down the road. Get out on the water today in a boat that you can trust and enjoy with Allied Boats. Contact us at Allied Boats today to learn much more about our incredible fishing machines.
New days, new beginnings, new friends, new loves, new dreams, new goals, new scenery, new job. No matter what the next chapter holds, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate will be there to help you find the new that's right for your lifestyle at any stage of your life. Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Expect better.
Here we go.
Hey, welcome back in studio. Dwayne England, Tommy Donlin. You want to talk a little blackmouth fishing, Tom?
Oh, absolutely.
It is that time of year for those that it just kind of, you know, with everything else going on, you may not pay attention to the rigs when you all of a sudden get this little window of opportunity with a low quota, and you go, well, shoot, man, if the fishing's any good at all, we're going to be in and out of that thing in 2 weeks. I'm not even going to drag my boat out of the shed, right? But there is one particular individual who drags the boat out along with the rest of the family because it's what they do. Mark Yuasa, appreciate you taking time to jump on the phone tonight, buddy. How you been?
Doing well, guys. Doing well. Thank you.
Yeah. As recent as this morning, you and your uncle were out there on Puget Sound in this unbelievable weather and gave it a go. How'd the morning treat you for a little blackmouth fishing?
You know, actually, I'd call it fair fishing, but, you know, the fair fishing was pretty darn good in our boat. We had 5 chances. We got one keeper and let another one that was, you know, the borderline legal side go. So, I mean, and we only fished for 3 hours. So, you know, given that fact, you know, and seeing other fish being caught, it was, you know, about a dozen boats out there. It was pretty nice right off the clay bank. So, and the water was just flat calm. You know, it was just dealing with the rain and the downpours.
Yeah. So, hey, if anybody is not familiar with the Yuasa name, they should be. You're obviously a well-known Northwest writer, still contributing to a few publications, right? Northwest Sportsman's Magazine, The Real News, and whatnot. So you're putting plenty of articles out there from time to time, and we appreciate that. But this fall into winter blackmouth opportunity, do you recall? I didn't look it up. What's that small little quota or window of opportunity we're looking at here for that Area 11 opener going on right now?
Yeah, well, here's kind of the stickler to all that. So I'm part of the advisory board for the Puget Sound Sport Group, and we just got an email this morning about catch estimates for that first week. And we've burned through about 41% of our encounters.
No kidding.
Oh my God.
Yeah, through November 7th. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Too many Yuasas on the water.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
You know, given that fact, and you know, and I always, my mantra is, you know, you go when it opens nowadays, because if you snooze, you're going to lose. You know what I mean? And we're going to have a phone call, I guess, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with WDFW, and we'll find out what the skinny is. But, you know, rumors around the boathouse down there in Tacoma, and you know, friends of mine like Gabe Miller over at Sportco and stuff, we were chatting this morning. And to get through the weekend, you know, anything beyond that, I don't know if it's guaranteed now. So,
all right, well, let's not get into that. That's kind of depressing, Mark. Let's talk a little bit about tactics, okay?
Yeah, there you go.
I want to know, are you jigging, mooching, or trolling? What are you doing?
Well, today we just jigged. And so, you know, I'm using a G Loomis back bounce jig master, an HRS 932C. It's about an 8-foot rod. It's got a good, you know, stiff backbone on it. And I'm using a Shimano Bantam 1000 reel. A lot of guys like to use the line counter ones, like the Okumas and the Kodas and stuff. And those are great too, but I just like that direct drive on my reel. You know, I'm a knuckle buster kind of guy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's what I'm using. And I think, you know, one of the key things with jigging too is, you know, a lot of guys go, hey, do you use monofilament or use braid? Braid is the way you go. You don't want stretch and that stuff. I mean, we're using 50, 70 pound test braid and Power Pro, you know, the super slick version. So, you know, that's kind of the key for your main line. I do use monofilament though on my jig leaders. You know, using today I used a Pearl White Point Defiance, or not Point Wilson jig in a 3.5 ounce. So, but what I'm doing is I'm altering the jigs too. So what we do is, you know, the top two parts where you're where you see we like to bend the top pieces inward and then run our line directly through it, and we put bumpers on each side, so it's pretty much free running the line between the jigs.
Yep.
So, you know, I think that's kind of the key, and then we're also, you know, we're obviously you can't use treble hooks. We're using two, you know, 7/0, 6/0, you know, the Big River Gamakatsu hooks, and I'm tying them about an inch gap between the two hooks.
Okay.
And that seems to be money. You know, obviously making sure you've got the razor sharp tip, you know, gummies are probably your best bet, you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the key, you know, and obviously out there finding the bait, you know, it's blackmouth season, right? You gotta find the bait. Usually it's on the bottom. Today it was in patches. And we were starting off, you know, maybe at about 220 feet of water, and it was an incoming tide, and going up to about 150 and then just running back. And it was running like a river out there. I mean, we went up and down maybe 3 times at the most on each drift. But boy, it's feeling that bottom and making sure that jig is just, you know, working it, jerking up and down right off the bottom. And that's where we got them. And it was right when that water started, you'd see these slow down periods in the tide. And that was when we were getting our bites, I noticed. And so that, you know, that's kind of the key. But, you know, the boys down there, the good old boys too, they're using meat liners, you know?
Oh, right. Yeah. The old school.
You guys have seen those.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
You know, and I saw it was probably half jig, half meat liners today. And those guys are using Pro Trolls and Hoochie, and just trolling them with a 5.5 pound lead bouncing bottom.
And they're finding them. Yeah.
You know, that is just such a, you know, I could, you know, if I went out there and did that, people call me a knuckle dragger.
Oh yeah.
You know, they just would. They see this big dude. You know, there's something to be said about jigging, right, Mark? I mean, holding the rod in your hand, feeling the bite. I mean, you know, I've started diving in, Mark, into this whole world of slow pitch jigging, which is kind of a relatively new craze that's hit the fishing world. And so, you know, in my mind, I'm listening to how you're rigging the jig, you know, the rod that you're using, the reel that you're using. And then I got to ask, like, what kind of jigging action or action are you imparting on that jig? What is that jig doing in the water when you're getting bit?
So, as soon as I hit bottom, I give it, I crank up about 3 cranks, and then I give it these real short 3 quick jigs, of the pull. My tip is probably right at the water base, and then I jig up maybe about 3 feet, and that's it, 3 times really quick. And then I let it flutter back down to the bottom. And then I kind of just do that whole routine. And, that area is kind of snaggy. So, you kind of just got to feel it. And then as you're seeing the depth finder get shallower, you kind of work your jig up and up and up so you don't get caught up right off the bottom down there. But, it's just, I call it the little herky-jerky kind of jig.
I like it.
The Yuasa herky-jerky. Got it. Yeah.
Hokey pokey. I think we can put a song to that.
Yuasa hokey pokey? That's what it is, yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, if that's not getting folks dialed in on some opportunity out there for the short window of opportunity that we may find ourselves up against here, I don't know what is. And seeing as how we are on the jigging conversation, before we run out of time here, let's just jump over right into the old squid jigging. That's finally beginning to take off a little bit in Puget Sound, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, last week I was out. Tom, you know him real well. I was out with Paul Kim, and we were fishing. We were fishing right out in front of Shoal, and this is a week ago, and it was just like no man's land. There was nothing out there, no bait, nothing. And what he was finding out this year is that it's just been these waves of squid coming in, and a lot of summer squid. These smaller squid are being seen down like in from Tacoma and Des Moines and those areas. But like a light bulb, he called me. He called me. What was it? It was Thursday, and said, "Hey, Mark, Edmonds lit up." And sure enough, he was out Sunday in front of Shoal, and it was like, man, it was on fire. So hopefully this means that they were just like late this year. Because late being really late, right? Because you start seeing these guys around here in late August or late September. So, we're in mid-November now.
Right.
We're getting to that worried state, but hopefully this is a good sign, and I've been hearing that the guys down on the waterfront too in Elliott Bay are starting to find them. So
good. That's really good news. I mean,
better late than never.
I can understand the worry, because if you compare this year to last year, and the end of August last year, it lit off like a rocket. And I mean, you couldn't even hit the water. You couldn't even go anywhere on the water without running into just a biomass of squid.
Right.
Oh yeah. That was an anomaly, I think.
That was an anomaly. People need to look back a year prior and try to remember what it was truly like, and engage on this year's performance if we're on par, or if we're a little late, or if it's looks like everything is on back to normal routine, right?
Yeah.
So because the jig king of Seattle,
the Squid King,
Paul Kim. Yeah, Paul Kim, the Squid King of Seattle, as he was aptly named last year after being on the show. So so it looks like it's off and running, and hopefully it's going to sustain for quite some time. And folks should be able to go out either in a boat or even off the piers. Mark, you spend much time off the piers getting these squid?
Yeah, like I said, Pier 69, Pier 70 came on, and the Big Wheel, there's been some down there as well. So, and Seacrest. So, I think for the pier guys, there's some opportunity now, especially up at Edmonds. That was where it all started happening last week. So.
Right. Before we get out of here, we got some announcements that came out here yesterday or today. Another series, I believe. What do we got? 9 days of clam digs coming up.
Yeah. So I had a chance yesterday to talk to Dan Ayers, and boy, I mean, he what he was telling me was this last series that just ended on what was it yesterday? In fact, November 10th. So it started from the 3rd to the 10th. They had counted, and this was only through Sunday the 7th, 30,000 diggers for this series.
Oh, wow.
That's like springtime numbers, you know? So given the fact that, usually it just starts petering out by about now, he's saying there's still a lot of excitement out there on the coast for digging. And he was seeing about 17 clams per person. So folks, this year, obviously we've got that bonus limit of 20.
Right.
Yeah.
And with, these next digs coming up right around that Thanksgiving period, it's November 16th to the 24th. I think it's a good opportunity to get out there during that holiday and get some. He was saying you wouldn't believe the amount of shows that are appearing on the beaches this year. He goes, it's just spectacular. And so folks to take advantage of this, and it's not like we're going to get a lot of digs here all the way into spring, and the toxin counts are down, so better than last year, that's for darn sure.
Yeah, well, we have a surplus of somewhere around 50 million clams out there, with half of those being harvestable, so the numbers are off the charts, unlike they've never seen before. So it's a great great additional opportunity to take advantage of when other things may not materialize as we roll into the winter here. So fantastic info, Mark, as you always put out there. And where can folks find some of the stuff you're continuing to contribute to the Northwest in some of your writings and whatnot, real quick before we got to go?
Yeah, so obviously Facebook page, Pacific Northwest Fishing and Outdoors. You guys are all keyed in on that. That's a good one to get in there, and you could find links to all my stories on there. Northwest Sportsman, got a story coming out in December. I know, Tom, you went and experienced over there in Eastern Washington, the Rufus Woods and Lake Roosevelt for those big rainbows. So, there's going to be a lot of opportunities, and folks just got to get out there and experience all of these things. Even in these slow periods, there's something to be done. So, that's fishing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I gotta say, Mark, I absolutely love your articles and your summaries, because you always paint the complete picture, and you can read one of your publications and you know exactly what's going on, and of all the opportunities. You do a really good job, so people should, if they're not already, they should definitely give you a follow.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yep, and I also got a Twitter too. It's @MarkK_Yuasa. So
all right.
One of those are good to follow. Cool.
Well, perfect. Hey, appreciate you taking time to jump on this evening. Don't be a stranger, as you always provide fantastic information that folks need to hear. So we will make sure to get you back sometime soon.
Great. You guys doing a great job. Keep
Thanks,
it up.
Mark.
Thank
we
you.
will. All right. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Have a good one.
Talk to you soon.
Take care.
All right.
See ya.
There you go. Mark Yuasa, a wealth of knowledge, Tommy. He's got his thumb on everything going on in the Pacific Northwest, and even more so. All right, man. Well, that is going to do it for us. We're up against that 7 o'clock hour and got to kind of get on out of here. So want to remind folks that, hey, the number 3 installment of the WDFW virtual town hall, Steelhead Town Hall, was presided on Tuesday night. And I caught bits and pieces of it when I was at work, but ultimately went back and jumped on the YouTube channel, watched the full installment of that. Pretty compelling information coming out. We're getting down to the wire here where they're going to announce the actual season. Another meeting on the 19th of November. Pay attention to these dates coming out. We'll continue to post the information on our Facebook page, because it is info that those that are passionate about steelheading are definitely trying to keep up on. We're trying to make sure we help in that regard, because it is going to be a pretty tough season to get through. Tommy, you and I are going to be going down the road of, hey, here's all these other things we can be out doing.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of opportunity, and that's where we're going. So we'll keep you informed on that stuff as we roll into the next several weeks, and ultimately the beginning of December when they present it to the commission and finalize that season as we get into it. So, all right, that's going to do it for us here at Fish Hunt Northwest this week. Be sure to join us next Thursday. Yes, we have one more show before our Thanksgiving break. What is next Thursday? The 18th, I believe. Yep. So we'll be back here in studio 6 p.m. next Thursday here at Fish Hunt Northwest. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.